What if water insecurity didn't exist? What if bottles, pipes, and trucks weren't required to transport water? What if water could be generated at the point of need? And what if you could help make all this happen just by taking a sip? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Shannon Lemansky. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Aqua Ubique. We believe that water can be better for you, better for the environment, and building better communities. And we do this by extracting water from thin air. Now today I'm not here to talk about the technology, the carbon savings, what we're doing in First Nations communities, the health benefits. I'm here so that way you can learn and hopefully take from two of the major learnings that I've picked up along this journey. One, don't focus on the solution. Focus on the problem. And two, particularly at the start, you're going to be uncertain, you're going to be scared, and it's not going to be the perfect solution. But so who am I and why do you care? A couple of years ago, I was in the same position as you. I was a logistics officer in the army over in Papua New Guinea, dealing with keeping 120 people alive in a place that kind of didn't want us there. Over there, I got to experience roads that are slightly worse than Brisbane, shopping centres that don't have fresh food in them, and tap water that we couldn't drink. So as I'm sure you can imagine, 120 soldiers create quite a bit of plastic, particularly when we're drinking bottled water. And as a result, I then had quite a large plastic problem that I had to deal with. Easy solution, crush the bottles, chuck them in the truck, take them to the tip. I was the garbo as well. But when I use the term tip, I use that term rather loosely. In reality, it was burning piles of garbage as tall as a house. So I jumped down out of the truck. I'm now ankle deep in mud, and we're shoveling these crushed plastic bottles out of the back of the truck. The locals come up to me. Please, sir, don't crush the bottles. Even as trash, they've got value to us. And I go, sure, not a problem, we can bring them in, that's fine. I'm sure there's probably some gifting paperwork that I have to do, but what do you need them for? The answer I was expecting was, oh, we're going to sell them along the road, because I'd seen that going into town. No, sir. If they're uncrushed, we can catch more rainwater, which means that our kids don't have to drink from the dirty creek. Life-changing experience. Fast forward 2 weeks. So as part of it, we had to pull in pallets of water for the 120 guys. We'd had some stuff there left over from last year. This was an exercise that happened every year, and it had now expired. Don't ask me how water in a plastic bottle expires. It's a conversation for a different day. But because it had expired, we had to get rid of it. So I'm now walking down to the tip, shoveling out pallets of unopened, still shrink-wrapped plastic bottles. Believe it or not, the locals thought we were mad. I opened the bottle, there was a language barrier. I opened the bottles, crack it, neck one in front of them. It's fine, it's just expired, we can't drink it. I started with, imagine if water insecurity didn't exist. And there was an image there that was from overseas. But although this is a problem in Papua New Guinea, it's a lot closer to home as well. At present, over 2 million Australians don't have access to clean drinking water. Predominantly, these are First Nations communities. And when you turn on the tap, if water comes out, and that's a big if, arsenic, uranium, unsafe levels of fluoride. This is water that you need to boil to give to your dog to drink. I don't know how many of you have children, but I definitely wouldn't be bathing my 3-year-old in that. So, the solution that we're working on, atmospheric water generation, water from air. When I first came across it, beautiful, this is the solution. However, the chief entrepreneur took me up to Massac Island late last year, found out really quickly that this isn't the solution. This is part of the solution, it's not all of it. It needs solar power, it needs integration, and that's stuff that we're working on at the moment. I wouldn't have learnt that lesson if I hadn't gone to community, sat down with the elders, and found out that their actual problem was economic opportunities. And that's what this will give. Water plus communications plus power. We discussed digital jobs earlier. This is the catalyst to allow communities to pull themselves out. As I said as well, the other thing that I want you to focus on, just do it. Just get started. The technology I have at the moment, it's not perfect. There's some flaws, there's some bugs, we're working out, there's some R&D, there's some IP. But it's good enough to get started. If I'd worked on an exquisite solution, if I'd done the typical army thing, I would have defined the problem, I would have come up with the requirements, I would have defined the system, I would have developed the system. It's now 5 years late, it's $2 million over budget, and it doesn't fix the frickin' problem that we started with because I've taken too long. Start now, you're not going to be happy with it, and learn as you go. So, Aqua Ubique, if you have drinking water, so I think never fails in your office, I'd love to have a chat, and you can help me, or help us rather, get fresh water in the First Nations communities. Thank you.